to the Stronger Than Autoimmune podcast, from Boardroom to Breakroom Edition. I am Desiree Worland, and if you're listening to this, chances are you've been told your labs are normal, but you're still waking up exhausted after 8 hours of sleep, or maybe 10. Maybe you need that third cup of coffee just to make it to lunch. Or maybe, like I used to, you're falling asleep at stoplights, wondering if this is just what it's like to be an adult. Or maybe you already have an autoimmune diagnosis. You're taking medication, following doctor's orders, but you still feel off. You're managed on paper, but you don't feel yourself. Here's what I know: you're not crazy, you're not lazy, and you're definitely not just stressed. Your body isn't broken, it's just trying to get your attention. And today, we're going to help you understand why normal labs don't always mean you're actually functioning your best. The episode is for two people: the high performing professional who's been normalizing exhaustion for way too long, whether you're searching for answers or already living with a diagnosis, and HR leaders and executives watching talented employees quietly burn out. Because here is the truth: 78% of full time workers with an autoimmune disease report that their job performance suffers because of their condition. That's not just a health issue, it's a business issue, and it's solvable. So let's dive in. Okay, stay with me because I'm going to make a comparison that might sound a little weird at first, but trust me, it's going to click. Think back when you had an iPhone. Remember that phone? For a while, it worked, it was great, but then the apps took forever to load. Your battery drained faster, but technically, the phone still worked. It was functioning, but was it optimal? Absolutely not. Your body is like that iPhone. You're functioning, you're getting through the day, but underneath, things are lagging. Your energy is draining faster than it should. Your brain fog makes you feel like you're running on 3G when everybody else is on 5G. And when you finally go to the doctor, exhausted, frustrated, hoping for answers, you get your labs back and the doctor says everything's normal. That's the equivalent of Apple telling you your iPhone is working fine because it still turns on. This is the gap between reference range and optimal range. And it's a gap that leaves millions of people, especially women with autoimmune conditions, feeling dismissed, gaslit, and struck. When you get your lab work done, your results are compared to what is called a reference range. This reference range represents the average values found in a large population of people who got their labs done at the same lab. But here is the problem: average does not mean optimal. Let's use your thyroid function as an example, because this is the most common area where I see this gap played out, especially for women with autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto's disease. The standard reference range for TSH is typically zero point 0.5 to 5. But in functional medicine, we look at an optimal range of 0.5 to 0.2. Excuse me, I apologize. I want to make this correct. In functional medicine, we look at an optimal range of zero point 0.5 to 2 or 2.5. That means you can have a TSH of 0.5, which is technically normal according to standard labs, but you're still experiencing brain fog, waking, cold intolerance, crushing fatigue, hair thinning, and mood swings. Your doctor sees that 4.5 and says, "You're fine," but your body is screaming, "I am not fine." If you've already been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, whether it's Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or any of the other 100 autoimmune diseases, this concept becomes even more critical. Because once you have a diagnosis, many doctors shift into management mode. They focus on keeping your antibody levels or inflammatory markers within acceptable ranges. But again, acceptable and optimal are two different things. You might have been told your antibodies are stable, but you still have flares. Your inflation markers are within range, but you're exhausted every afternoon. Your medication levels are good, but you still don't feel good. This is what I call medicated but not optimized. You're being treated, but you're not thriving. Now, here's what most people don't know: TSH alone doesn't tell the whole story. A complete thyroid panel should include TSH, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, TPO antibodies, which indicates Hashimoto's, TG antibodies, which indicate autoimmune activity. Most doctors only test TSH. Some will add a free T4 if TSH is abnormal, but very few run the full panel unless you specifically ask for it. And if you already have Hashimoto's diagnosis, your doctor might only be tracking TSH and antibodies, missing crucial information about how well your thyroid hormone is actually converting and working at the cellular level. Here's the thing: you have the right to ask for comprehensive testing, even with an existing diagnosis. So, how do you advocate for yourself at the doctor? If you're going to your doctor and you suspect thyroid issues, or if you already have a diagnosis but still don't feel well, here's what to say. For those seeking diagnosis, I'd like to request a complete thyroid panel, including free T3, free T4, reverse T3, TPO antibodies, TG antibodies. I'm experiencing symptoms with my thyroid dysfunction. Even though my TSH has been normal, I'd like to get a more complete picture. And for those already diagnosed, I appreciate that my TSH is in range, but I'm still experiencing XYZ, brain fog, fatigue, weight gain. I'd like to run a complete panel, including free T3, T4, reverse T3, to see if there's any room for optimization in my treatment plan. I want to feel good, not just normal. If your doctor pushes back and says, that's not necessary, try this. I understand that's not standard protocol, but these symptoms are significantly impacting my quality of life and work performance. I like to rule out thyroid dysfunction comprehensively. If you're not comfortable ordering these tests, can you refer me to an endocrinologist or a functional medicine practitioner who specializes in thyroid optimization? Remember, you are the CEO of your health. Doctors are consultants. You get to make informed decisions about your care. If your doctor dismisses you, makes you feel like you're overreacting, or refuses to order tests without clinical justification, find a new doctor. You deserve a provider who listens to you and partners with you. This is why so many women with autoimmune conditions spend years bouncing between doctors, feeling unheard and unsupported. Even diagnosis, they're told they're managed when they still feel like they're barely surviving, because the tools we're using to measure health weren't designed to catch the nuances of optimization. They were designed to diagnose disease and prevent crisis, not help you thrive. Okay, here is the corporate connection. Now, if you're an HR leader or executive listening to this, you might be thinking, okay, but what does this have to do with my workplace? Everything. Because when employees are functioning at reference range instead of optimal range, you don't see it in sick days. You see it in presenteeism. Presenteeism is when someone shows up to work but isn't fully there. They're foggy, they're exhausted, they're taking twice as long to complete tasks. And presenteeism costs 2 to 3 times more than absenteeism. especially with invisible illnesses like autoimmune disease. And here's what many leaders don't realize: having an autoimmune diagnosis and being on medication doesn't automatically mean an employee is functioning optimally. An employee might be medically managed, but still struggling with afternoon energy crashes, brain fog during meetings, and difficulty concentrating. These aren't character flaws, they're signs that the person isn't in optimal range. Employees with chronic conditions account up to 85% of an employer healthcare costs. But when you create a culture that supports comprehensive health optimization, not just disease management, you create your bottom line. Early detection and optimization reduces long term disability claims by up to 25%, according to CDC Workplace Health Research. Now, let's get to some actionable tips, because I don't want you to just be seen. I want you to know what to do next. So, for the individual, request a copy of your lab results. Don't just accept everything is normal. Ask for actual numbers, even if you have an existing diagnosis. Ask for a complete thyroid panel if you're experiencing symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, weight changes, cold intolerance, even if your TSH has been normal or if you're already being treated for thyroid issues. Track patterns, not just symptoms. Start noticing when your energy crashes and when your brain fog hits. When digestive issues flare, your body is giving you data, so collect it and prepare for your appointment. Write down your symptoms, when they started, how they impact your daily life, and what you've already tried. Bring this list to your doctor. If you're already diagnosed, ask your doctor, is there room to optimize my treatment plan? I'm managing because I want to thrive. For HR leaders and executives, just a thought: we can do a results review days. Allow employees 2 hours of paid time off annually to review lab results within their healthcare providers without using sick time. This supports both early detection and ongoing optimization. Create flexibility around energy management. Not all accommodation requests need to be a formal ADA process. Sometimes it's as simple as a flexible start time, permission to do walking breaks, and quiet spaces for focus work. Another one is educate managers on invisible illness. Help them understand that looking fine doesn't mean it's fine, and having a diagnosis doesn't mean symptoms are resolved. 4. Support second opinions. Consider adding second opinion consultations to your benefit package, especially for employees who are managing chronic conditions. Here's what I want you to take away from this episode: your body is not broken. It's just asking for you to stop proving you're okay. Whether you're still searching for answers or you've been diagnosed and medicated but still don't feel like yourself, you deserve to function at an optimal range, not just at a reference range. And if you're a leader in the workplace, your employees aren't being dramatic. They're not lazy. They're not making excuses. They're functioning at a reference range when they deserve to function at an optimal range. And with that support, they can get there. If today's episode resonated with you, remember, you don't have to navigate autoimmune challenges alone. I work one-on-one with individuals ready to regain energy, clarity, and confidence through personalized autoimmune coaching. And if you're a business leader or HR professional, I also partner with organizations to create healthier and more inclusive workspaces to support employees living with chronic conditions. Or to learn more about my coaching or corporate wellness consulting, visit DesireeWerland.com or connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram. If this episode helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it and leave a quick review. It helps others find the show and support our mission to change the autoimmune conversation. Until next time, take care of yourself. You are your most important investment. And be stronger than autoimmune.